It's been 3 years since the Johnson City Wildcats have been able to play a real home game. The 2011 flood wiped out their facility at Greenfield, and they've been forced to play at Binghamton's Alumni Stadium. All of that is a thing of the past as our Game of the Week takes us to the first football game at the brand new Wildcat Stadium. Our Game of the Week is brought to you by Oneonta Hot, Scoville, Mino, BC Stop PWI, Cacciatore's Therapeutic Healing Hands, and Shortline Coach USA. The field was packed for the pregame ceremony to dedicate Wildcat Stadium, and early the Wildcats giving the fans exactly what they want. First play from scrimmage, Dominic Nads keeping it on the ground, 74 yards. First play, first score. What a moment for that young man and his teammates. 7-0 Johnson City Jackets answer though. Jake Croster to Skylar Thompson, 55 yards in the air and wide open after the catch. The two-point conversion is good, and that makes it 8-7 Oneonta, but the Wildcats want that first W at home. Thompson up top to Stefan McDonald with no one around him. 70 yards this time. The offense rolling. 13-8 Wildcats still in the first. More offense. McDonald had a farm, and he's betting it all on this TD score. 20-8 after one. So we go to the second, and remember when we promised shootouts in the beginning of the show? This one turning into one. Second play of the quarter, Austin Shear using the 5 Ds. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodging his way into the end zone. Jackets within 6, but Dominic Nads is a beast, and he's a man on a mission. Give him another TD run. This one a pedestrian 54-yarder, and that one makes it 27-14. But Oneonta hoping to play the spoiler on this historic day. Pat Calhoun from 37 out along the far sideline, and that cuts the deficit to 7. We're getting even tighter now. Shear near sideline with the nasty juke move all the way to the promised land. The kick would have tied it, but the two-point conversion fails, and it's 27-26. The Wildcats distancing themselves still before the break. Thompson in the air to Kenneth Johns, and check out this shoestring catch. 75 yards, and JC up 34-26 as we take a quick break and let the band take the field. Wasn't that nice? Let it go from the Wildcat Marching Band. I'll tell you what though, JC not letting go of this one. McDonald in the third, 15 yards for pay dirt, the first score of the second half. It's 41-26. Then it was the defense getting involved. 2 picks on consecutive drives. We're just going to show them both to you. First, it was Kenneth Johns. He's the one on the top left, and then on the bottom right, Dominic Nads. End of the third, we have a score, 41-26, Johnson City. To the fourth, JC 12 minutes away from their first home win in 3 years, but nothing comes easy. Kreutzer calling his own number inside the red zone, faking out Camera Boy, and pulling up Gimp in the end zone, back to a single-digit lead though. But Thompson is the nail, and Patrick Gary is the coffin. And check out this catch. Nail in the coffin, ball game over. Wildcats with the big win, 48-32. Donnie is standing by to break it all down.
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, we're here with the legendary announcer, Roger Neal. Let's talk a little bit more about the Wildcats offense. 48 points today, but 6 points in week 1 against Forks. What did you see was different today versus week 1?
Well, I think, first of all, you play Forks. They are tremendous. So you're playing one of the best defenses in the whole state. So that was the first thing. The second thing, I think, is it's going to take a little bit of time, and today you saw that. Dominic Nads is an outstanding ball player. He can put a lot of speed on the field for Johnson City. So the combination, I think, of, again, playing Oneonta, which, is a fine team, but not necessarily the caliber of the Forks. And then secondly, just a little bit more time to gel. And I think overall they can be an explosive team throughout the season. And
Oneonta did put up 32 points in this game. Talk about the Wildcats defense, and what do you think they need to improve going into next week against a bigger opponent in Susquehanna Valley who has a lot of speed?
I think one of the things obviously is going to be ball control to keep the offense going, but at the same time you score fast. and then your defense is right back out there. That'll be a lot of it. And I think, again, just we're still in the early part of the season now. As we get to next week, it's actually the midway point. So it's time that things start to gel. And I think it's going to be a very big key that they tighten up the defense, obviously. Susquehanna Valley is having a great start to the year. So it's going to be a tough test. I think anybody who plays SV this year is going to be in for a tough game.
And seeing them play on their home turf, a brand new stadium, you were there. How much energized did they get for that? Did you see the whole crowd that was probably packed? How does that help you as you go throughout the year, knowing that you're going to be playing in front of a place that is, one, beautiful and two, packed?
Yeah, it was tremendous too. The first play from scrimmage, they score a long touchdown run, so that just got the crowd going to start. But I think it's huge. They really have not had a home since the flood in 2011, and even before that, it was a wonderful field, but it was well away from the high school. So now you're playing right next to your school. The enthusiasm was tremendous. The facility, with what they've done with that, and still more on the way with some concession stands and other updates, is going to be second to none. So I only see good things here in the next few years for them to build on some of the past successes they've had and get that tradition back.
And big game, Susquehanna Valley next week. We'll be watching that. But let's talk a little bit more about Section 4 football. 0-3 Union Endicott Tigers. Did you see that, entering the season?
I didn't think 0-3 for a start. I thought that they would have more of an offensive push, and that really has been a struggle for them. But I think that, they lost an awful lot. In Orlando at quarterback, Krowiak, tremendous speedster. So they lost Yasenski, those kind of kids who are, game breakers. So it's awfully tough for a program to have that caliber every single year. They were blessed to have them for several years together. Now it's going to be a rebuilding process. And I think, again, it's going to take some time for the offense to gel. They've got to find a couple of guys that they can go to and count on to be able to move that football.
And on the flip side, there's a few 3-0 teams. One that we all know, Emmy, but let's first talk about Binghamton, 3-0, getting a lot of momentum, clicking. What are you seeing out of the Patriots so far?
Well, I think, again, they've got an explosive offense. One of the players who may not be as well known for explosiveness, but a tough runner, Daniel Selepak. He's a speedster, but they'll bring in some of the smaller backs maybe at times, and then bring him in tough yardage situations. That kid is a gamer. And I think anybody that has to play against him, they may stop him, but whoever makes the tackle or tackles him is going to be punished. He's a bull with speed too. So I think that's going to be a very big key. I would be surprised if they don't utilize him even more in the offense in the next several games, because he's tough. So I think that's going to be a big part of it. They are fast once again. And I think a big question for them is not so much the offense, but can they shut people down on defense? And again, when you have an offense like they do, with no huddle, fast-paced, it's great and it's exciting. Again, you set the stage for your defense to be out there in moments if you score the football. So ball control isn't always of a lengthy period of time for them.
And a team that usually has the ball in their half is Maine Enwell, 41 games in a row. You probably don't even see that around the United States. How awesome is this Spartans team, and do you see them again getting to the state championship game?
Well, I think I'm one of those people that says until somebody beats them, I believe in them, because they've got such a great program going, so many different weapons. They've already had a couple of quarterback injuries, and they still put up 40-plus points. So I see, at least right now, I see more of a key defensively for them, because their defense is superb. And I think everybody is, you can't look ahead. Coaches never want to do that, but we know here coming up it's going to be the Forks and Maine Enwell. That game will be as good as any state championship game you'll see. That's going to be a heck of a ball game. Hopefully both sides will be healthy, and the programs are just absolutely superb. So that should be one for the record books.
And one who's a legend himself here, Roger Neal. Thanks for joining us and giving us all the insight in Section 4.